I stood in the doorway longer than I should have, trying to keep my breathing even. Laya had already disappeared into the kitchen to report for her shift. She'd taken a job with the catering service, swearing it had nothing to do with wanting to keep an eye on me. But I knew better. She wasn't just there to serve canopies. She was there to protect me in the quiet, fierce way she always had. I spotted Uncle Joe near the back, already seated. He gave me a short nod that said, "You're doing fine, even if it feels like hell." I slipped into the seat beside him, folded my hands in my lap, and tried not to look toward the altar. But I saw him, Gavin. He looked almost exactly the same, broad shoulders, that stupid, practiced half-smile. He was shaking hands with someone, holding a whiskey in the other. If you didn't know him, you'd think he was warm, magnetic. But I knew the quiet distance behind that smile, the way he used charm like armor. I knew what he looked like the night he left. Shallow eyes and silence, not a single glance backward. Then I saw her, Serena. Veil, all white silk and gleaming blonde hair. Laughter that was just a little too loud, a little too pointed. She leaned into Gavin like she was posing for a magazine cover. Every movement seemed choreographed to say, "Look at what I have. Look at what she never could be." They exchanged vows in front of a giant floral arch. Gavin's voice didn't waver once. I kept my head down, chewing the inside of my cheek just to stay grounded. The crowd applauded as they kissed. Serena turned toward the guests, beaming like she'd just won something. Then the reception began. Glasses clinked. Waiters flowed like clockwork through the crowd. People laughed, gossiped, admired each other's dresses. I sat quietly, sipping water, forcing myself to stay present. Laya passed by, once with a tray of bruschetta. Our eyes met for a brief second. She winked. "You okay?" Uncle Joe whispered. "Still breathing," I said. Then came the toasts. Best man, maid of honor, a cousin. All the usual stories. How Gavin was a great guy. How Serena had turned him into a better man. I almost managed to tune it out until I heard her voice. "I want to say something." It was Serena, standing at the head table, holding a flute of champagne. Her eyes sparkled in the lights, but there was something sharper behind them. She didn't look at Gavin. She looked at the crowd, and then at me. When I met Gavin, he was a good man, but he was hurt, damaged by someone who didn't know how to love him right. A woman who was too broken to see how lucky she was. I froze. My skin flushed hot and cold at the same time. The words hit me like a slap, in a silent room. "She almost ruined him," Serena continued with a laugh so light it made my stomach churn. "But I saved him. I healed him. And today he's finally where he belongs." Laughter followed. Real laughter. People toasted. Glasses clinked. A few even clapped. Uncle Joe muttered something under his breath. I couldn't move. Every part of me screamed to stand up, to speak, to scream even. But I didn't. I just stared at her, this woman who knew nothing about the nights I held Gavin's hand while he cried about losing custody of Laya, nothing about the mornings I woke up early to write cover letters for his job search, nothing about the ultrasound photo I buried in the back of my drawer, the one I never got to frame. She didn't save him. She just arrived after he'd already run. And that's when I noticed the movement near the kitchen. One of the waitresses had stopped walking. She was staring directly at Serena, her jaw tight, fists clenched. It was Laya. She stepped forward, shaking but steady, and began to walk past the tables, past the clinking glasses, straight toward